This video is sponsored by Established Titles. We're in the process of attempting to create the most epic, realistic model castle ever seen on YouTube, period. We started out by picking a castle that was at one point an actual full-on, real-life historical castle out of 15th century Bohemia, where, by the way, you can still visit and see its ruins to this very day, and we're basing it off the historically accurate recreation of the castle out of the extremely popular AAA video game Kingdom Come Deliverance. Can we do it? Can we make this the most epic D&D castle ever seen on YouTube? Well, let's dive in and find out. Okay, so we got a little bit of plastering left to do on the front side of this half of the castle, which is this right here. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is obviously not where things begin with this castle. There are two previous videos in this series, and I highly suggest you go watch those first before continuing with this video, as it's going to make this whole process that much more exciting and interesting to follow. I suggest doing that first and come back once you have completed. And as you can see, we got a lot of windows and doors, and there's a staircase coming up here. So we're going to tackle all these wood elements first, get those done, and throw some plaster on that. And then I think we just need to paint up all the plaster and really start transforming this thing into something cool. So let's get going. We got a seam I don't like. So what I'm gonna do is get some plaster, and I'm gonna use Ultracol, which is like the dental plaster, the really hard stuff. Shove a bunch of it in between there, push it back together, and pull it apart again. But first, we're not gonna do it here. This table isn't nice and level. My kitchen table is. Can we do it, or is it gonna wreck everything? At least there, it might wreck it. So, kind of nervous about that. Okay, so this seam here is perfect. Just a light crack, way better than it was. This stuff is so hard. Like, that is not leaving any marks. That's how hard this stuff is. Super strong. It's not at all like plaster of Paris or hydrocol plaster. So I'm very confident these edges are going to be very chip resistant, and it's going to be perfect. Look at that. All right, so we got our branches here fresh out of the oven. Some tasty pine branches. Just gonna clean off all those needles, and then we can start making these timber staircases on the castle wall here. We got our branches here. I'm gonna do the steps on this guy first. And so I got them in the game here. So handy. Yeah, so I'll just copy this and this. All right, so I'm making these curved stairs, which are pretty tricky. I'm gonna have to somehow make it so I can glue, let's see here, these guys on like that. To do that, I need to find the angle of that guy right there. So we'll use our protractor here and eyeball what this angle is. The 20-degree angle. Okay, so we'll cut a bunch of little wedges at 20 degrees and then tediously glue on the steps. And look at that, the tiniest little wedges ever. That's what we're gonna use. So I got something really cool in the mail just now. It just came. I'm gonna call the fam down and I'll get them to open this and we'll see what their reactions are. You guys, come here quick. I'm not gonna turn the camera on just yet, but I just wanted to show you guys this first. Super cool. Do you want to open this?
Yes, I do. What do you think it is?
Awesome. How's your bag?
It's a box!
Okay.
Whoa! So cool!
Fascinating. It's with our utmost and absolute pleasure to deliver unto you the physical manifestation of your title and certificate, bearing witness to the purchase of your dedicated land in Scotland. Proclamation! Wow. Lord Neil! What?
I'm an official lord. I own land in Scotland now.
You do not. Lord in Scotland.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Lord Neil.
Established Titles is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies, and hands down has to be one of the coolest sponsors I've had on the channel to date. They allow people to buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land in Scotland and are committed to planting a tree with every order, which is just an incredibly cool way to help preserve the picturesque woodlands and biodiversity of Scotland while supporting global afforestation efforts. Your certificate features a unique plot number which you can see the exact location of your land, and it makes for the absolute perfect last minute gift. And on top of that, use the link below to get an additional 10% off your purchase. So head over to Established Titles and declare yourself or loved ones an official Lord or Lady of Scotland. Okay, so we're gonna be painting up the stone now, and I decided to start my trial and error on this side of the castle. Kind of not a very smart idea, kind of really sort of dumb actually. Because I had those test pieces that I made before with the plaster, I could have tested on there, but I didn't. I just got too ambitious and tried it on here. Anyway, I made all my mistakes there. I'm going to be covering it up with an almond primer, which is what I used on the other side of the castle, and it started work. It worked out really well. So I used that almond primer followed by Bone Blade Brown on the airbrush. I also used some Typhon Ash from Citadel, and then just a watered down black for the craft paint. So that's how we did it, and that's how we're going to continue to do it. So after many struggles with the paint, I finally come to something that I like and I'm happy with, and actually I couldn't be happier. Now it's time to move on to the stairs on this side in the inner courtyard. Before we do that, we need to put in our false ground. So the ground level is actually higher up here, as you can see. That's what's next. We'll do the ground level and then the stairs, which are going to be so nice. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the stairs here, and I'm just looking at them now in the game. Very intimidating. There's a lot going on here with these stairs. A lot of pieces, but really all it is a lot of simple work. We're just gonna be placing piece by piece, each piece of wood onto this thing. Like I said, it seems intimidating, but it's actually not that bad. You just gotta take your time with it and not get overwhelmed. So I got quite a bit done there already. I'm gonna work on this landing here. And again, I'm gonna use the game here as a reference. So yeah, let's start off with this landing and go from there.
If a Russian attack on Ukraine proceeds, it is likely to begin with aerial bombing and missile attacks that could obviously kill civilians without regard to their nationality.
So we have a ton of wooden planks to make. These are coffee stir sticks. We got a bunch back there too, and I'm gonna be needing a lot. So the perfect tool are these right here. And these are pruners for gardening. Gardening pruners. Cut the top off like that. You can even do a whole bunch of these at once. So I'm gonna get a bunch of these to draw out for the shape for the stairs. Perfect, 50 degrees. Draw the line there. And now there are also diamonds on these. The top of the diamonds, there. So our diamonds will fit in there, and then of course the bottom. Right, so this is gonna take a lot of work. So what do you do in this situation? You hire out the work, and who better to hire out the work to than your currently disabled wife who is stuck in bed. That sounds really mean. Let's go upstairs and see if my wife would be willing to help us out and make a lot of planks for this project. Okay, so we're gonna take these to Jackie. How's it going? So I got a job for you, as we talked about earlier.
Oh, sure.
You ready?
I guess so.
Okay, a lot of cutting. These are gonna be for the stairs here, these things with the markings. I'll explain to you how that works. The rest, I'll get you the measurements for those. They're gonna be like a lot of those. You ready? You can do it?
I hope so.
Okay, awesome, thank you. All right, perfect. Now it's back to the stairs. All right, I could not be any happier with how these stairs turned out. So good. Now I just want to work on the windows. For that, I'm going to use this stuff. This stuff here, this is actually from a pencil holder. I'm going to use that. I'm going to try using some clear resin with some inks. This is 3D printer resin. I've got a UV light right here that I'm going to use to cure. Get our resin. Dump that on. There we go. Not bad. You can see most of the grid is still shining through, which is really nice, rather than just being perfectly smooth and flat. Go grab the angle grinder and we'll start chopping that up.